You can bring it down a little.
I mean, this works.
All right, I followed my game plan. I am now heavily overexposed in another Bitcoin long. We're going to take a look at this. I am starting up a morning trading show, figuring out exactly where to land it. It might end up on the arena. I don't know. Might end up on the member stream here. Might end up within Discord. It depends. Might have to stream to all three. Welcome on to the blockchain basement. Hope you all are having a fantastic day.
You are banned!
Quick, what happened?
It was Steve-O. I just had to start off the stream right.
Good Lord. Unbelievable. Well, anyways, I got to figure that out. Currently, I did a live stream on the arena this morning. That was pretty fun. Only had a few people in there because I'm just getting started. Check this out. So 13 views on this. And I gave a level specifically or where I was going to YOLO a long in. And it was at this point, there was about $50 million in liquidations to be had at $83,800. So went to the gym, saw the price action happen, and you betcha, Captain, I got into that bad boy. I am currently sitting into this long, I don't remember what leverage level this is. What is this? Oh, yeah. So it's a 29x. I'm up 30% currently. Stop loss, already in profit. It's a safe trade. It's honestly a beautiful setup. Look at this shit. I caught that wick like a savage bitch and just sent it. So, you know what? Shout out to everyone. I am streaming on the arena as well.
They're not.
Well, currently we're not streaming right now.
It kicked you off.
It kicked me off?
Yep.
God, man. You know what it is, Isaac? I'll bet you when we're stacking streams, that's what's getting in the way. That's probably what's getting in the way there.
With the arena punching out, it was like 6 streams.
Yeah.
So now it's only 5. But.
Now it's only 5. I have a very serious question to ask during the show with my man, Jeremy. Jeremy, how the hell are you doing?
Hey, everybody. I'm doing good. I'm here. I made it. I just came off a really good podcast episode of my own on Zan Syed's channel, the Club Orkana podcast. We just had a great series of interviews. Haven't read the news in a long time, so I'm feeling great.
Yeah.
I've been playing the Pudgy Penguin trading card game. You'd be interested to know about that.
So is it like, because I feel like the Pudgy Penguin trading card game is just like a chance for Pudgy Penguins to come back so they can dump more. Is this like an actual organic community you see being built with this card game, or what's happening with this?
What I can say for sure is that the person who made it, or maybe some of the designers who made it, really love card games because there are 5 colors in the game, and they're like archetypes that you'd be really familiar with if you played card games.
Yeah.
They have a path to the World Championship that is kind of what everybody wants the Magic the Gathering path to the World Championship to be. So they have a leaderboard. If you finish one of the season's top 8 on the leaderboard, you get to go to the World Championship, which is at the Baron's Ice Castle. I don't know what that is, but I figured you might since you're a Pudgy Penguin guy.
The Baron's Ice Castle, I have no idea what that means. I have played the game. Like I have some like on-game assets or something like that with Pudgy. I don't pay that close of attention to it. Maybe I should.
Yeah.
You know.
You played the trading card game?
No.
Oh.
No, I have not. I do like playing trading card games. Bro, we had 1,000 people on that first stream on the arena. Holy God. Holy snap. Matthew, we got to keep those going, man. Matthew's kind of a big deal on the arena. I don't know if you noticed, but he's kind of a big deal. Shout out to everyone for joining me on the show here. Jason, Sufficient Enough, Crypto, Steve-O, BC Alden, of course, Matthew King, Green Day Prophets, keeping the world safe. You know, it's kind of sad. I heard a cop got he killed the suspect, but he did get shot in our neighborhood, Isaac.
Oh, really?
Like right before we went live. So prayers for him and his family. Papa Guth, Slim Cheeses, Cali Crypto Dude, what is up? DeFi Crypto Airdrops, Overthinker, and Ed Figs. Now, let's get into all the stuff here. I got to move on from this trade, sadly, but I am going to be keeping an eye on this. If we start breaking down while I'm in the middle of stories, please let me know.
Sure thing.
Now, where we're at in Bitcoin. This is like my local stuff here. On the 4 hour, honestly, very tight little range just over the past few like 4 hour candles. In my opinion, this is going to go turn green. The money flow is about to move up into the green. That's my humble opinion. I know a lot of people think that I'm front running. I'm getting excited beforehand, but I'm still riding and trading off of what I was talking about. I think about a week and a half ago, a week ago, seeing the green dot get ready to print. Then we have it currently printed. It needs to close the week to stay there. Jason was giving some great insight on that on Kelly's stream. But I am of the opinion that we haven't seen this. What is happening to there?
Session is disconnected.
How many
Oh, my
things do
bad.
I have open on it? Is that you doing that?
Yeah, I was trying to log into one. I forgot I was on your account.
I was like, what is happening here?
damn.
Yeah, so we've only had this green dot come up, a few times in this current bull back. The last one, or the furthest back, was about September 2023. That's where I ported a ton into Chainlink, AVAX, and what was the other one? ICP. That's where I made
Yeah.
all my moves in those. And then we had another one print at that deep pullback level. This is where like the momentum wave is super low and you get that weekly green dot. We only had that 2 times previous. The other one was at 57K. Great things happen from there. I am of the opinion that we're going to continue on up, and at the very minimum in this bull market, tap that previous all-time high. But I'm actually more so leaning at $150,000 to $170,000 on my more conservative targets for Bitcoin in this current realm. Just seeing it stumble a little bit earlier than we're used to in the traditional market side. So now we do see this. Newly created wallets have withdrawn 1,400 Bitcoin worth nearly $120 million from Kraken. More whales withdrawing massive amounts of Bitcoin from exchanges, putting it into cold storage. Very, very bullish kind of macro overscope things to be seeing whales taking the Bitcoin off the exchanges and putting it into their own cold storage, which you at home, please, for the love of God, do exercise your power to become your own bank. We have a link down in the description for our great partner of the channel, Arculus. You can use code BASE10. You get 10% off. It comes in a package like this. We sent one out to the Krav guy for winning that last contest, Isaac.
We did.
His package should be showing up pretty soon. But you can use that code BASE10. You get 10% off this thing. It's a very easy cold storage wallet to use. It's something that I like showing friends and family that are crypto curious, but they're scared of using the cold storage wallets. If Trump's speaking, that's great. I don't care unless it's basically, if it has something to do with the Fed, sure, we'll watch it. And as long as it's nothing to do with tariffs, as long as it's nothing to do with tariffs, leave my long alone, Mr. Trump. God, is he going to dump my long?
Maybe.
What are we at here? Hold on. We're at 35% now. All right. So we're doing good still. Must not be saying anything too crazy there. Isaac, while I'm yapping here, look at what he's talking about, just in case we have to watch that. And then cause extreme pain to my friend Jeremy here.
You're not a fan of Trump's tariffs?
I am a fan of them, but they cause extreme short-term pain in the markets.
Right, but that's on election night. You said that we needed to tighten the belt to bring manufacturing back. You said you wanted American kids in sweatshops.
Absolutely. Bring back child labor to America. Now, that was the warning that tariffs are short-term macroeconomic pain for the United States. If we do try to nationalize our manufacturing, there's going to be short-term pain because everyone's addicted to cheap products from Walmart that are shipped overseas. If we see this globalist setup of product swapping come to an end or even a halt to it, then that causes short-term pain. What you got, Isaac?
Trump doesn't speak till 1 p.m.
Till 1 p.m.?
Yeah, we have about 30 minutes.
Yeah. Child labor builds character. What was your first job? My first job? Let me think here.
I was 16. I worked at a sandwich shop that was on the way to the beach in my hometown, so it was always slammed in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was shoveling snow off of driveways when I was very, very young. So I was like, but I was like 9 years old or something like that.
That's like odd. I was like you doing chores for people for money.
True, but it was like $20,
I'm talking about you get a check.
And so the first check that I got was a newspaper boy. I think I was like 13 or 14. But then I worked at a Jamaican Caribbean grill
Yeah.
as a line chef when I was 16 and ate a bunch of Jamaican jerk chicken. Absolutely delicious.
So that was like
Yeah.
main first job. Yeah, I worked at a sandwich shop. I ate a ton of sandwiches. I made a few up that were great.
Isaac, you're a wee one.
Yeah.
What was your first job?
First job was Jersey Mike's. I was making
Jersey Mike's?
making sandwiches in the busiest Jersey Mike's in Georgia.
You know, me and Isaac, we went to get some food yesterday.
We
No.
did get to. Oh, we're going to talk about this. Great.
And we ran into
Yep.
His girlfriend.
My ex
his
girlfriend.
ex-girlfriend.
Ex-girlfriend. Oh, is it that
And
lady?
she was giving me shit about my barbecue sauce. She was like, are you sure you want 2 barbecue sauces? I'm like, yes, I'm sure I want 2 barbecue sauces.
Give it now, goddammit.
Unbelievable. I was actually on the phone with Vet because I was trying to go through the
Yeah.
and she's like, are you sure you want those sauces? Yes, lady, I want the and I didn't know it was your ex lady. That's kind of crazy.
That was kind of funny.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Small
Was
world.
it, where'd you guys go?
Steak and Shake.
Oh, that's crazy. I love Steak and Shake.
Yeah, I'm every now and again I'll go back there. Yes, that was her that Vet heard in the background. Absolutely crazy. Small world.
Very small world. Because she was talking to me. That's the only reason why you heard that.
Yeah. I love the comments from everyone's first job. 13 years old, worked at a fish farm and a wood yard, worked there for 3 years and got out of the fish business.
H Bar Bean was selling weed at 7 years old.
What?
Oh, I'll show you.
Very entrepreneurial.
Exactly. Where
Very
is it at?
entrepreneurial.
Damn.
God. H. Martano. Unbelievable. So now let's get into the rest of this stuff. And don't be this guy. Okay. This is an old take. Thomas Randolph. Well, Bitcoin has stabilized at almost exactly $14 a coin. I'm tired of waiting for a jump. So I'm taking the loss. He took a fucking loss on Bitcoin
At $14.
at $14 a unit.
Bro, I'd blow myself up.
Getting my cash back. This is July 15th of 2011. That is so sad to see. So the guy's probably looking at this a long time ago. He put this out. This is just a reminder, never kill yourself, right? There's always the next thing that's coming up. As long as you're staying in the know of the news and how the world's changing, there is always going to be more juice to squeeze. Speaking of juice to squeeze, we are almost at 40% on this thing.
Yeah, you're chilling.
You know, the take profit, I was thinking we're at 84.9 essentially right now. I'm thinking like 85.6 is where this liquidity level is. This is the Bitcoin murder map. This is where Binance knows to murder all of us longs out there.
Yeah, or don't let people get in there long.
Yeah, absolutely. And they do that before the market's open. They crush. If it's going to be a good day, they go down first. If it's going to be a bad day, they go up first just to destroy the trades that are on the books currently. So now the next thing we're going to look at here, Fed Chair Jerome Powell says he thinks there will be a loosening of bank rules on crypto. So this kind of an inevitability. We know that the Federal Reserve is going to have to pull out some stops to not only hoist the treasury market, but to give the mid and larger banks more liquidity, quicker transactions, because things are a little bit hairy in the back end from the FDIC. Unrealized losses for banks. They need new ways and new mechanisms to move money around and new ways to hide things, because I don't think they're going to fix the system with crypto. They're going to hide their flaws better by adopting crypto. That's a deep take right there.
That's crazy.
That's pretty good. Now, Bitwise CIO Matt Hogan calls for Q1 of 2025 to be the best quarter in crypto history, but also highlights 4 key catalysts that could turn crypto markets around in Q2, despite the weakest Q1 performance in years. These catalysts are a rising global money supply, the M2 money supply that was shown out of the US, plus the others overlaid with that. This is a clear thing that I think is going to be flowing into crypto beginning in the start of next month. Is it May or is it April right now?
It's April.
It's April right now.
Right now it's basically April.
Basically April.
Right.
What is it? What is it? It's April 17th, isn't it?
Aha, yes.
It's almost 420, bro.
Oh,
In Colorado, when it was 420, the sky just turned into a giant pot cloud. It's like it consumed the world. It got to the point the cops didn't even care. Like, just don't murder each other, you know?
Yeah, the cops mostly don't care in Atlanta. You know, they got other stuff to worry about, issuing traffic tickets to
issuing traffic. I think there's other things besides teenagers and traffic tickets going on in Atlanta.
I think so too.
Yeah, if you ask the cops, you wouldn't know.
I won't even go there. We're not going to get the channel that banned. The tailwinds of regulatory relief coming in. We see a lot of SEC lawsuits being taken away. There is still a looming, where is this? Super weird. This thing is still going on. The court granted a 60-day pause on the SEC Ripple appeals case following a joint request from both parties amid ongoing settlement negotiations. The SEC is expected to file a status report on June 15th. Jesus, can they just fully end this case?
No, I thought it was over, but apparently then this came out and I was like, okay, we're still talking about
the appeals to it, but it's just like absolutely crazy to see this constant ongoing process for specifically Ripple. Like, what the hell, man? You end the lawsuit against Hawk Tua girl. She's fine, but Ripple, really? Like, so crazy.
Well, if you prosecute Hawk Tua girl, then people will start saying like, well, why shouldn't we prosecute Trump? He also did a scam meme, dump coin, and you're the whole.
That's different because the Trump token was a slow, not full rug. It was just a slow death. Slow death. Like the Trump meme, when it came out, Solana skyrocketed $290.
Mm-hmm.
When Hawk Tua came out on Solana did not soar. Right? Two very, very different situations.
And also,
what's that, Isaac?
The Trump token, again, was a steady decline.
Yeah.
The Hawk Tua was a fucking,
yeah.
That was it.
Well, and that was her team insiders literally like straight pulling that. The Trump token actually had 80% of the tokens locked, Jeremy. So there's a lot of difference there, actually. It was just more of a failed attempt, but kind of crazy that the most popular person on the planet had a failed meme coin attempt. That's a signal that the market was overheated. Too many people are out there gambling.
Any meme coins, I just stick to the ones that have, cute animals attached. I like Sneck and I like Pudgy Penguins now, but I wouldn't own an NFT, but I would own the Not Your Keys trading card.
Pudgy has a meme token as well. You want to go look at it?
Yeah, how are they doing?
Not great. Let's look.
Are they on Solana?
They sure are.
That makes sense because you can link your Solana
but it's up
wallet.
14% today. But look at this. This is the all-time.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So you have the release.
Let's go back to the one day.
Okay. Well, for newer viewers, I got to explain the history here. You have the release, the NFT behind Pudgy Penguins hit like $150,000 a unit.
Yeah.
People were holding the NFT to get that airdrop. They receive the airdrop and then they dump it, which is where you see the chart do what it is now. The one day, sure. It's up 14%. Like if you're psychotic enough to be playing Pudgy Penguin trading card games with Jeremy in, the basement.
There's a couple sickos in that game.
There are.
But they're all like guys from Atlanta that I know.
Sick individuals.
The top 8 is going to be hard to crack into because it's going to be me, Kendall Burdett, Zan Syed. I mean, just basically the top.
You're in the top 8 trading card of the. You are in the top 8 of the Pudgy Penguins trading card game.
Not yet, but I was planning to hit top 8 for season 1. I'm just going to no life it for like 2 weeks and get there. So I want to go to the World Championship. It looks like I'll get a lot of money.
Who am I to talk shit? It reminds me also of grown adults that trade Pokemon cards. I do that. Who am I to talk? Right?
Yeah. They're fun.
They're fun. They're fun. My dad thought I was crazy for holding on to those, but he held on to them for me when I went off and did the music stuff. I would have lost them if I had control of them. He had them, and then he gave them back to me like years later when I was finally like responsible enough to like have my own home and have a spot for them. Now my daughter has first edition Pokemon cards.
Nice.
That are worth a lot of money.
I mean, honestly, my daughter has a lot of Pokemon cards that are pretty cool. So
those assets can appreciate.
Absolutely.
You get some of them graded. You're looking at a couple $1,000 or
absolutely. Now I do want to look at Snick while you're on this show, Jeremy.
I'm not really shilling. These are just the 2 that I have.
I know. I want to look at your bags. How are you doing here? I mean,
bad lately. I was doing really good. I almost sold in December, which would have been exactly right.
Oh man!
But then I decided, if I worked here, I should have some crypto, and this was the crypto I had, so I just wouldn't mind and hold on to. But no, I almost sold in December. Remember, because I was coming up to you, I was bragging. I was like, I've been giving great advice to all your people on Blockchain Basement for the whole year. I'm up however much, I like 7x or whatever. So yeah, in December, I was like, I think I'm going to sell. I think this is but I just wanted to keep being able to come on here and say that I had any amount of crypto, and that was all my
True.
crypto, so I couldn't sell it.
Well, and you're staking it too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So is what it is. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be fine. You know, I don't think it's going to go down. We got to look at what Jerome Powell said about crypto, though. This is kind of getting weird. Jerome Powell being nice about crypto is just something I didn't quite. I mean, I know that it's inevitable, but to hear it out of his mouth is kind of crazy. Let's have a listen.
And fraud and things like that were the headlines for a couple of years, and I think what you see now is. And during that period, by the way, we were trying to work. We worked with Congress to try to get a framework, a legal framework for stable coins, which would have been a nice place to start. We were not successful. I think that the climate is changing, and you're moving into sort of more mainstreaming of that whole sector. So Congress is again looking at both the Senate and the House are looking at a framework, a legal framework for stable coins. You know, depending on what's in it, that's a good idea. We need that. There isn't one now. And stable coins are a digital product that could actually have fairly wide appeal and should contain consumer protections of the typical sorts and transparency. And that's what the Senate and the House are working on. So that's a positive thing. I also think some of the, we took a pretty conservative, and other bank regulators took an even more conservative perspective on the guidance and rules we imposed on banks. I think there'll be some loosening of that, and I think we'll try to do it in a way that preserves safety and soundness, but that permits and fosters appropriate innovation.
So some things to think about here. The main goal of the Fed and Congress, in congruence with the Fed, is to retain control of the U.S. dollar being minted. Stable coins can mint dollars. Granted, they have to back them up with some sort of asset, usually. But we do have the plans for Fed now to roll out some version of CBDCs. Now, there's a lot of pushback within Congress about this, making the CBDC protect user privacy, which honestly is a nice thought. It's good to see them fighting back. It's good to see Florida make CBDCs effectively illegal, which you do have to fight in the Supreme Court to overturn. So this is a long game. And I think that this is more just building the framework to actually roll out a CBDC, which could... See, this is the crazy part, is we all think... And the easy pick is that it's going to be USDC.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more than likely going to come straight from the Treasury.
Probably.
Right?
Unfortunate, but
why
probably.
would they let Circle be the printer of the dollar when it's all said and done 10 years from now? Would they ever? Could you imagine that?
No, they still want their control.
Yeah. So that they still want their control. We saw how they acted when Facebook was going to roll out a coin just within their Facebook app.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're not going to
crazy.
So seeing this, Jerome Powell's like trying to go after, rolling out regulatory clarity for stable coins. I don't think this includes, when it's all said and done and the truth about this really rolls out, it's not about integrating all these different tokens, these stable coins. It's about choosing their one winner. Probably going to come from the Fed. Maybe it's going to be some hybrid version of USDC and Circle with the Fed on some oversight committee. But man, that is something to think about there. So with that being said, can you put that thing in like the couch cushion? That is driving me insane.
Crazy.
Put it in the couch cushion.
Yeah, that's a great
idea. It makes
idea.
me talk slower when I can hear myself. That's just kind of what I think about this. It's not that the crypto industry in general is going to like thrive because Jerome Powell wants all these different stable coins to be minting dollars and then, backed one-to-one. It's more about the 5 to 10 year game plan of actually implementing a CBDC. To get Americans to accept a CBDC, they'd have to bring us to our knees on a very cultural, real level to make people beg for monetary relief. That's the sad reality of it. What up, Brianna? Hello. I wish we had like the camera to capture Brianna strolling in.
Brianna does crypto. That could be her username.
Now, Panama City has apparently approved plans to accept crypto payments Residents can now pay taxes, fines, permits, and fees using Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDC, and USDT. If you're going to do any of these options, please, for the love of God, ETH, USDC, or USDT, do not give the government your Bitcoin direct. Holy shit. Like, this is crazy to me.
I think I should give the government my Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
That's just the worst idea in the world. Like, literally just handing the government that's already in control of you the only thing that you have as a potential to monetarily escape their inflationary practices over the next decades, and you're just handing them your escape ticket, right? That's crazy. That's crazy.
I think it's like maybe crazier to think of the government as some sort of institution that is like anti-you, as opposed to an institution that's like made up of just like people trying to find the best
Yeah. Yeah.
for what's going on in the world, you know?
Yeah. I mean, there's like, as long as the Federal Reserve exists, they're going to steal from us through inflation.
Yeah.
They're just gonna. So like, and you can't audit the Federal Reserve. You can't go in there and be like, hey, what's behind the curtain, Jerome? That you can either hard stop or keep going. And any hard stop action has to come through the Congress. So, and how deep these congressional leaders are entrenched into the state of the deep and the payoffs that I'm sure are happening in the background to keep the Federal Reserve going. I don't think it's going to stop unless a very physical removal occurs.
Okay.
So, and I'm not going to go into what that looks like, but yeah, bet he loves 15-minute cities too. God.
Isn't a 15-minute city just like a city where you can walk to the grocery store or go get to a cafe or like any sort of restaurant or anything you need within 15 minutes?
They're sold that way. What they are tactically is a pinch point, a control point, where you cinch off access to thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people with the ease of one roadway. I think of it in different terms than you. Like, you're like, oh, great, I can walk to Starbucks, and this is easy. I
never
can
go to Starbucks, for the record.
Well, sure. Like, whatever. Like, the bank is right under you.
The gym,
whatever it is.
the shooting range, 15-minute walk to the shooting range.
There's no shooting ranges allowed in 15-minute cities. Are you fucking
See,
crazy?
now we're getting to the root of the problem, which is that it's liberal coded, which you don't like.
But it's a tactical pinch point. And
what about a Republican 15-minute city? The whole thing's sponsored by Black Rifle Coffee Company. It's all wooden boards and charm.
It's actually sponsored by Axe Blue if it's Black Rifle Coffee. What a psyop. Black Rifle Coffee Company can kiss my ass.
I didn't know.
Axe Blue funding pricks. Holy shit. You just lit up a fire in my buns here, man.
Crazy what triggers you. I thought Black Rifle was the libertarian one.
No, God.
No.
I mean, they act like they're libertarian and they're Republican or whatever, and then they're shoveling millions of dollars to Act Blue in the background. That's what's happened. That's a psyop.
Okay.
Black Rifle Coffee Company, you are a psyop. You need to give all your money back, and your coffee sucks. Jesus.
Never tried them. I just thought they were the Republican ones. But anyway, it's a 50-minute city. It's all axe throwing and big red truck hauling a Christmas tree type stuff. You'd probably love it.
I would hate it. No.
Men's barbershops,
No.
women's have to wear burqas.
No, hard no. And that's absolutely not. Like, I am a constitutionalist, Jeremy.
Okay.
I am not a Republican.
Yeah.
I am a constitutionalist.
What's that flag over there?
That's a Trump flag.
The Trump flag.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Absolutely.
Great.
You know, Trump was considering running as a Democrat.
Yeah, because he has no principles, right? No like starting position of policy.
He doesn't have a
could just
starting
do
position
whatever.
of political bias. He was both on the Democrat and Republican side previous to becoming a president.
Yeah.
The side that was least corrupt, they're both corrupt. The side that was least corrupt of an option for him to go on the ticket of at the time. Remember Bernie Sanders? Rugged.
I liked Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders got rugged.
I voted for him in the year that I was able to. I forget which year was it. Maybe 2016 or
Yeah.
20, I think it was 2016.
Yeah.
I'm with Bernie.
You know, I was for his revenge tour. He's on a revenge tour against the Democrats. Did you know that? He's pissed.
Apparently, at one of his rallies recently, he removed some Palestinian protesters. But now I'm anti-Bernie.
Which tiers taste better, Bernie's, Hillary's, or Trump's? Hillary's. Definitely Hillary's. Now, on stablecoins, back to the God. How did I get on that tangent? Did you do that to me?
I said that 15-minute cities sound like a good, convenient idea. I think it'd be nice to be able to walk to the grocery store in the gym. And then you started foaming at the mouth. You said BlackRock was a psyop, and you called me a liberal to my
Black
face.
Rifle Coffee Company. BlackRock is also a psyop. BlackRock is scamming the world into thinking that Bitcoin's adopted, but it's going down, so you better sell it to them.
We are going to have feds at our doorsteps in the next 15 minutes.
Bro,
How is the debate I'm having with Drew worse than what Drew does when he's on his own? Doesn't make sense. Why would this cause the feds to knock down?
Because you're liberal and they're sending you to El Salvadorian kill camps, Jeremy. That's why. Okay. It's a great cleansing.
I don't think that's very American. That's how I feel about that. I feel like you can't.
I doubt that that's actually happening, though, is the thing. I think that that's a false rumor.
You don't think there's an El Salvadorian kill camp, or you don't think that people are being sent to it? And
I think there's El Salvadorian kill camps. I don't think that our people are going there. I mean, maybe they are. If they're MS-13 gang members and they're being sent back to El Salvador, and El Salvador is clearing out all the MS-13, sorry, don't be part of the gang.
Yeah, but that's the problem with the lack of due processes. We don't get to know who they are.
They are. They have due process. They broke the law. They broke the law. They get sent out.
But not all of them.
That is due
broke
process.
The law. One of them had a do not deport order installed on him because he was testifying against gangs. That's the guy that everyone's talking about, Beralto Garcia or whatever.
Yeah, I highly doubt that narrative, Jeremy.
What do you mean? There's like a court document that they have that said that he had a do not deport order on him, but he got deported anyway. And the Trump administration said that was a clerical error.
That order is treason.
What?
That order is treason. You can't stop us from enforcing a law that's clearly there.
I don't know.
Just because your feelings are what? You got a Soros DA, so now you control the law? Fuck no.
I don't know if the U.S. government can do treason definitional.
Jesus.
I'm just saying, I don't think that they can.
Okay. We have to talk about crypto again. Okay. I got way too side ran. Russian finance ministry calling to create its own crypto stablecoin. These are governments trying to position, just like you saw Jerome Powell trying to get a little bit cozy or showing that it's not going to be horrible with this, stablecoin regulation, because they're going to squeeze and control and potentially even destroy as many stablecoins on the market as they can, and then cause a mass chaos, mass calamity, bring people to their knees and make them beg for immediate liquidity, which will come in the form of CBDCs. It's thesis, antithesis, solution. Now, Isaac, you gave me this thing here. Let's see what it is. What is this? God, Bravo's research has just got all the stuff. So they're talking about inflation over the past 3 months, inflation rate versus the U.S. GDP, and this is also a scam / psyop. So the GDP falls off a cliff during COVID because of the economic shutdown.
Yeah.
And then it goes absolutely parabolic. But these are all cookbook numbers to make the Federal Reserve act like everything's okay, when in fact they had printed 80% of all circulation ever in existence happened between this time frame. If I'm a betting man, I think this is wrong. I think actually we're going to swoop up and actually start moving up to the upside with the tariffs playing into play, because we have to think about, like, there is short-term pain in the price of goods, but also if the American workers put back to work, like, God forbid we fill back our oil industry with high-paying jobs and dudes making $200,000 a year, going fucking nuts on Main Street. What do you think that translates to actual prosperity? When people are able to go and work those oil rig jobs or manufacturing jobs at a high rate of pay, that money filters back into communities. And I swear to God, if you're thinking of a way to fight this, I want to hear it, because this is insane to think that bringing good jobs back to Americans is going to hurt the economy.
No, I'm all for bringing good jobs back to Americans and that being good for the economy. I'm a little bit worried that we're conflating like manufacturing jobs with bringing back a bunch of good jobs, because it also brings back a bunch of pretty heinous, horrible jobs. So you have to be careful about that. But that, of course, I'm pro the economy.
Some people like working heinous and horrible and dangerous jobs for the insane money that you get from it, though. Like, what's wrong with that? Just because like some oil rigger wants to go work on an offshore rig and go deal with that, or ice fishermen or ice truckers, like go let them.
I've got no problem with any of those jobs.
Right?
Those are totally fine things to do. And in fact, I loved the Deadliest Catch show.
See, they give you content too. You know,
The most important job is still content creator.
Now, President Trump says that the Fed Chair Jerome Powell's termination cannot come fast enough. This is what I was talking about on the difficulty of getting rid of Jerome Powell. It's not that I don't like Jerome Powell. I think that he's done a pretty damn good job with the convoluted mess he's been handed as the Federal Reserve Chair. I will say that the system that he represents has caused the breakage of reason and taken away the incentive for the United States government to actually take care of its people. All I see the Federal Reserve doing from here on out is giving bailouts to banks and crushing the average person, like just as we've seen. They pull back the interest rates just a touch. Everyone's like, oh, great. Does that mean that my mortgage rate is going to come down when I get a chance to finally buy a home? No, wrong. They don't give anything to the average person. All it is a bailout to the bank to make it a little bit cheaper so they can keep scamming along the way, and they pass none of the savings of those mortgages down the line. That's all that happens. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm going to take a step back because I'm not angry at you, Jeremy.
You need some yes.
Of course not. What did I do? I don't work for the SEC. I'm not trying to like legitimize the Federal Reserve as far as I can.
Yeah, I mean, and this should be a bipartisan conversation, right? Like, you would like your dollar to be able to buy the same amount of things roughly in 5 years from now, right? Is that
right? I'm pissed that the Nintendo Switch got so expensive.
Oh God!
It's a devaluation of my dollar. It used to be that 200 of my dollars could get me the newest Nintendo console.
What does the Nintendo Switch 2 even change about the Nintendo Switch 1? What is different about it?
2 words: Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Woo!
Hey, Isaac's on board.
So because you want Donkey Kong Bonanza, we should continue to leave American commerce out of the conversation, because the situation is that we have the resources to produce those things, but we don't have the manufacturing capacity yet.
Well, we also don't have like the market forces or economic will, right? Like, they take their time making games at Nintendo, and they crunch American companies really hard, which is why Nintendo has some of the higher quality games.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Donkey Kong Bonanza going to be such a good game because they spent 5 years working on it, because they can do that in Japan, but you can't really do it in America. They just make you make From Software games or whatever.
Japan has been working on a trade deal, though. Japan is like the one that's closest to finalizing a trade deal with Trump.
That's good.
I think you're going to be okay with your little game system.
I don't know. It's the most important thing going on in the economy right now.
Oh my God. I got to breathe here.
If you want to calm down, get yourself some yes energy drink.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I'm out of this, which is maybe why it's a bad day to have Jeremy on. There's a feel-good ingredients that have mood support and social energy included in them.
The saffron extract especially has proven scientific results in peer-reviewed studies to elevate mood over a course of time if you take it as a daily supplement.
I feel great when I take it.
Yes, honestly, I pretty much do too, but I want to say that it's a scam, but I just can't, because I do feel pretty good when I take it.
Yeah. It's pretty good stuff.
Get it, buy it on TikTok.
Yeah. We need a TikTok link in here.
Yeah.
Or just follow us on TikTok at Black Train Basement. And then we have it's Blue Chew, isn't it? No, it's not Blue Chew.
It's not a
Is it
Blue
similar
Chew.
to Blue Chew?
No, it doesn't really. Well, so Blue Chew has sildenafil or tadalafil, which are the active ingredients in Viagra and Cialis.
Oh shit.
This definitely does not have any of those ingredients.
Oh, okay.
But elevating your mood and making you feel happier and lighter can sometimes get rid of the actual problem, that's plaguing a lot of males these days, which is like high anxiety leading to failure to perform. Yes, can help with that.
Main problem is they have exactly what Nasty says: low testosterone.
No.
Not enough men are out there cutting wood with a axe.
What does that have to do with your testosterone?
Your mood is increased when you're a fucking G and you know it, and you're walking with your chest up. and you get workout plan every day. You're fasting until 2 or 3 p.m.
Building walls.
You're building walls. You're
Exactly.
destroying things. That makes you feel incredible.
That makes you feel good. Does that increase your testosterone though? Testosterone has a lot more to do with like the chemicals that you.
Scientifically proven that kicking a wall over increases testosterone. Also, bench press,
Yeah.
squats, and deadlifts.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that. Oh, I do those things when I work out, except for deadlifts, which I don't think have a point.
And
Wrong.
fasting. Fasting also does it. So there you go.
What do deadlifts do, Isaac? What do deadlifts do if I'm working out?
Well, one, deadlifts. One, you're also working lower back. You're working your legs too.
Mm-hmm.
And one, it's a fun exercise to do. Picking heavy weights off the floor. It's just a high testosterone building exercise. It's great.
I think that you guys are making stuff up. I think that dead weights are supposed to be like worse than just doing like squats and leg machines.
Absolutely not.
Wrong.
Yeah, definitely not. Now I have to get out. We got to talk about crypto. Okay. I bought a big bag last night. Admittedly, I bought a big bag. That bag was more full. I bought more full. Let's go check it out here. So I got it for like 83 or 87 cents. I had to bring my average entry down. Originally I got in at like $1.20. Did 2 buys. Well, one at $1.20, another at $1. And I saw it at 87 cents last night. I had to do it. This thing is number 168 in terms of size of market cap to the other projects. Probably one of the easiest altcoin wins out there. So there is that. And seeing this massive price reset / fight, I mean, it came down to lows that it held when it originally kind of released and had that initial sell-off. People that think that the overall Bitcoin market is over, then fine, think that way. And you're just going to, if you really believe that Bitcoin's done and we're going to just head back down and, find some support or some entry point at $40,000, then short the market. Put your money where your mouth is. I put my money where my mouth is, and I bought one of the easiest altcoin wins out there. Also at these levels, been very enticed by just adding into Bitcoin. Where is Bitcoin at right now in terms of this trade, though? Hold on. Am I doing solid? Here's the take profit level. I got it like laid out here. The stop loss is already in profit. So if it fails while I'm yapping, it's fine. But I am trying to get up to this 85.6 level. Let's see if that level is still there on the murder map here. Yep, still there. Cool. 85.62. We're looking good. Now, lots of stuff to talk about here. Taking a breath. Canadians. They call things differently than us here in America. We're going to have a listen to this because I just have to do it. I just have to do it.
That's a beanie. Toque.
Toot.
Sometimes people say toboggan.
Candy by Smarties. Rockets.
Rockets?
They say Smarties on the freaking container.
They say Smarties on the... Where did
he read the word
rockets?
Smarties and went rockets.
Bro, what? That's the letter Z. Zed.
Okay. Zed? Where do they get from? Is it Zed's Dead? Maybe they're getting this from Pulp Fiction?
They've been saying Zed for a long time because remember in the Weird Al Yankovic song Canadian Idiot, he says, don't want to recite my alphabet from A to Z. So that was a while ago that he made that song. So Zed's been in the Canadians, I guess, for a long time.
We're going to need explanations from our Canadian listeners on this.
A gutter. Eavesdrop. What did you just say? Eavesdrop. What? Oh, popsicle. Freezy.
A freezy.
Hold on a minute.
God.
I also I call those what would they call them in Spanish, but that has a disputed name in the United States too, right? Like people call those all different things.
Yeah, I mean freeze pop, ice sticks.
Yeah, icy pop is what I've heard before on those.
This is interesting. So apparently Zed is Latin, and then they might also DCA and Prey says that they say Zed in Australia as well. So maybe we're the odd man out, but it's just Z. Like I don't understand. I gotta keep up to this.
It looks like chicken. That's a chicken sandwich. It's a chicken burger.
This is where I draw the line. That is not a chicken burger. How dare, I mean, why are they calling this a chicken? It's a chicken sandwich.
The one thing that I
What
will
is the
say
reason?
is that America seems to, I think that we've earned the right to be the burger police a little bit. We get to say what
Absolutely.
is and isn't a burger. That's a chicken sandwich.
That's chicken sandwich. And that's damn right. We are the burger police. Not only the world police, we are the burger police.
Which is funny because there's some things that you would think we don't call burgers, but we do, right? Like a veggie burger, no one's taking that away from the veggie burger. It's a veggie burger because it's on a grill. They griddle it, they flip it, and they treat it with the, the cheese, the tomato, the lettuce. They give it it's a veggie burger. But the chicken sandwich, that's fried, never grilled.
Jeremy, what do you think about this? The giant phallic symbol filled with females that Jeff Bezos sent up into the sky here.
Mhm.
I can't play the sound here. It's a Johnson. It's a dick. Everyone knows this clip, but this really goes to say something. And you know what? Something important to know. They didn't actually go to space proper.
And they went up to the like upper atmosphere and experienced like microgravity for a few moments, basically.
Yeah. It's just so weird seeing Katy Perry come out of it and kiss the ground. I'm an astronaut now. It's like actual astronauts work pretty hard to become astronauts.
Hmm.
And then some rich debutante is able to pay her way to go to just the atmosphere edge and then act like an astronaut. Is that wrong? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm an American, so I believe in people's freedom. So I think that if people want to do that with their money, and then some company provides that service and takes that profit, that's like good, right? That's like the American like system function.
It is. It is.
Is Katy Perry necessarily being like wise with her money? No, but that's like not really necessarily something that we care about a lot here on this crypto show anyway, right? Like,
yeah,
obviously she could be doing better, but like it's like Katy Perry. She's like a crazy personality and has been for a really long time.
Yeah.
So like this seems like the type of thing that she should do because it gets people talking about Katy Perry, which is basically what her job is, aside from making music. And then it seems fine that a company provided this service because somebody wanted to pay for it. They charge an amount. I think ultimately this whole thing seems fine. I think if you're like really invested in it, then maybe you're kind of like missing the point. But I spend a lot of my time playing trading card games. So
facts.
Who's to say that that's way better than caring about Katy Perry going up on a Blue Origin shuttle? I just really kind of I see a no harm, no foul situation. Frankly.
Yeah. And like because I was talking to Vet about how the door opened inward, and it's like a standard for the door to open outward only after Apollo 1. They realized like cabin pressure problems coming from, opening the door inside, like engineering wise. So we saw the door open inside. I was like, this is a scam, but it didn't actually go to space. So there's some nuance there. Now speaking of nuance, we had something weird happen last night. So Jesse.base.eth, he mentioned that he had green lighted this Base is for Everyone project that rolled out last night. And in a very, very short amount of time, it went down. People were calling it a rug. He was on Spaces. People were yelling at him. People were pissed. We're talking about like what, kind of the rollout of it. And not the only thing that kind of felt weird to me when I was hosting this space was the timing of it. Because they're like rolling this out when we were at like a 30 or a 25 on the fear level. And it was kind of messy. And it's basically a content coin. It's not particularly a meme coin, but it started trading initially just like a rug meme coin. It had a lot of people upset. We had posts like this going around. Man, I really love Base, but I can't believe they green lighted this from the team. Disclaimer, he bought 0 and hold none. But here is the chart now. And it did not rug. What it did present is an insane buying opportunity that I should have taken advantage of, honestly. Because it was the same thing, but why I didn't, Isaac, is because that damn VVV project that Voorhees backed, VVV has been fucking down only. But a lot of new altcoins have been the same way. This one is not down only. It'll be interesting to see if they continue backing this and continue pushing for this to actually happen. It is basically trying to monetize content, things of that nature. But I remember looking at this when I was on the space and everyone's bitching about it. And I was like, dudes, maybe it's actually going to, bounce. I was at $3 million market cap. This thing pumped by 634% from 3 mil. Currently, it is up 200% from 3 mil. And again, this is an allocation level. If I were to get into this, that I'd be keeping within a few $100s, just as a extremely high risk play. But I just had to clarify some stuff because all the posts out there, just showing this and just this catastrophe. When you actually go to the contract address, this is where it is currently at. So I just had to dispel some of that stuff. Surely couldn't go to zero. Absolutely. But it did not go to zero immediately after the release of it. So now had some action from Moonwell. Low on funds, but want to deposit Moonwell vaults. They have some options. You can now directly deposit any Moonwell vault on Base and Optimism mainnet with just a credit card or crypto from other networks. No hassle. So they're kind of smoothing out the entry points on here. I do wonder where Moonwell is in terms of price action. I know my latest re-entry was 3 cents. Let's see here. Better be holding above 2. Definitely underwater on this damn thing. But I like what they're doing. And this is one of the chaotic base picks that I have here. I don't think the market's done. I think we're just taking a big breather. Isaac, are we going to have the founder of Moonwell on sometime?
Next week.
Next week?
Next week.
Shit. Okay. All right.
I feel like you didn't hype it up enough. Yeah, dude. Next week we're gonna have the founder. What's the point of getting a plucky young squire if he doesn't come out and do the dance?
All right, guys. Next week on the 22nd, we're gonna have the Moonwell founder on, Luke Youngblood himself. All right, is that a little better for you? But no, it's gonna be great.
Good.
That was good.
I liked it.
That was
Good. No, I'm very, very excited about
I'm
this. I've been tracking
personally-
them down for a while.
I'm more excited about it now that you introduced it like that. I'm ready for it.
Good,
You know what I
good.
mean?
I'm glad. That was what. Thank you, Jeremy.
I just think, I think it is a cool interview. So let's not just be like, yeah, next week, whatever.
Yeah,
Show up
whatever.
if you want to, but really, who cares? Like, no, dude, this is the founder of Moonwell.
Huge.
If you come watch the interview, you might even learn what Moonwell is. And
Yeah.
that's exciting.
So here we go. Tech Dev put out this: altcoins don't run until liquidity breaks out. It is time, in his opinion. Well, we've seen a major pullback in the business cycle, and liquidity is starting to come in. This is the global liquidity highlighting the breakouts, and then this is the overall altcoin market. We are sad, down bad. A lot of people hurting right now. But you know what? We know that the global liquidity is on its way back up. We know that the ebb and flow of markets is very much like a wave where you move up and down and up and down. So I think we're at the kind of downside of that action in a overall bullish trend. Hence why I've been adding to my positions in this current time frame. Now, the most important question of all. Jeremy,
Oh God.
what color is the dress?
Oh, this is from way back. I remember talking about this when I was in middle school or maybe high school.
Absolutely.
I was always on the team of blue black.
Okay.
I will say that for the first time in this picture, I'm seeing a little bit of some people would say yellowish or greenish undertones in the black. But
Bam.
Wrong.
okay, but I would mostly still just classify it as a blue and black.
All right. You're on my team then. You're on my team. Isaac flip-flops. Like one day
My
he's
brain
comes in
is
as
wants.
different.
This morning it was blue and black, but not right now. Yellow is gold and white. Okay.
I like
So you
Jay
can-
Schlong and not even a dress. I just had to clarify that. A lot of people were actually, curious what you thought about this dress.
I
Believe it or
think
not.
didn't they do a breakdown a while ago? They demystified why some people see it as
Yeah, absolutely.
Does it have something to do with the composition of your eyes, or do you remember? Do you know?
So
answer?
it's not the composition of your eyes. It's the light sheen that's coming in from the side of it, and then some people's brains decide on entirely different color schemes because of the way the light's shining on the dress.
Mhm.
Other brains are able to discern at times or always that you're looking at a sunlight sheen that is slightly skewing what is a truly blue and black dress. So that's where it is. It's about your perception, right?
After today, I never want to see his dress again.
That's fine.
never
That's
again.
fine. I just had to get this out of the way
Why'd it come back?
because of me. I
Oh.
forced it back into the conversation. So triggered by this dress. And also, that was Monica Lewinsky's dress. That dress has been places. This is actually a very historic dress, if you think about it.
I wonder if we can bring back other things from that era. Can we bring back Gangnam Style? That'd be fun.
You know what? I was thinking about it over the weekend. I listened to the whole song. I was jamming out while I was destroying stuff. Yeah.
Yoja.
Yeah.
That's
Gangnam
cool.
Style. And
That's
that
fun.
guy's got moves.
That guy does have
He's
moves.
got moves,
He
bro.
taught everybody a new move that became a worldwide sensation.
So, in essence, I am at extreme risk. I might be a little retarded. Retard Finder
Hate this account.
follows me, though.
Oh, nice.
So they found me on a space, one of the bigger spaces we host. And now I'm at risk of being exposed by I Find Retards on Twitter. So there is that. Invest at your own risk. Do your own research, because you have psychopaths like me that are YOLOing in 30x longs on the slightest inclination of money flow returning to the market. But you know what? It's going well. It's going well right now. Where's the trade? We're getting close to closing out here. I am at 40%. It looks like right now, not quite to the take profit position. We're at 84.9 right now, but it's fine.
What was our take profit position? 85?
85.6. Yeah. So, and for anyone that's looking to do this, we do have links. Use the link LBank. We have a trading competition. Aggravatingly enough, DZ is winning. Unbelievable. We got to dethrone DZ.
I think I've always been like one of DZ's biggest fans around this office, but I mean, that makes sense to me, right? He's like a smart
He is very
guy.
smart.
I think it should be for best traders in the office. We have Kelly, DZ. I'm ranking them in order, by the way. TJ, Drew, Isaac.
Yeah. So
Fair.
I'm pretty low on the totem pole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least you're not at the bottom.
Actually,
no.
Isaac pulled off a good trade yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah.
Yeah.
Just slight little 25%.
Yeah. And you know what?
Maybe Isaac.
Kelly and DZ are great about putting out what they're doing. That is where I lack, because this morning I used to do it all the time on members only streams here, but I stopped because the mornings got so crazy taking care of the kids and getting the trades in early. So that's where I'm thinking I do need some input from you guys where I should be doing.
Actually, I forgot under both of you guys, Joshua Jake.
Joshua, I don't think he's been trading lately though.
Yeah, so he's firmly under Isaac.
Yeah.
All right, Isaac, you're not at the bottom.
Woo! Now, everyone out there, make sure if you want to get involved with our trading competition, we have some great incentives that LBank is putting out. You can get up to $13,000 in trading funds, all based on trading volume. So if you want, get into the mix with it. We do have our Discord and our trading Discord rolling out. I believe, Isaac, correct me if I'm wrong, the end of the month, right?
Yeah.
So the beginning of May, we should have that active.
Yes, sir.
Then we'll have the link to that. And then we'll be, given all those moves right there. A few minutes behind Golden White, get out. Unbelievable. No, I'm just kidding. Psychedelic astronaut. So, that's what we're going to do. People asking about Frankie. He runs his own show. He's always ran his own show.
Mm-hmm.
Frankie's out there doing his stuff. One thing about Frankie is he is constantly long and short at the same time.
Yeah, I would rank him really high, though. I would rank him about up there with Kelly and traders around this.
Yeah, I have my own personal opinion. I think that it's between me and DZ for top spot.
No shot.
I do.
No shot. I rank Frankie and Kelly at top spot, and then like Tony way down, which is funny.
It's because
he's like
directionally though, like making a choice, long or short. That's what I'm looking for. If I'm tuning in, I want to know up or down. Not I'm gonna go up here and down here, and have all the options to be able to brag about after either option plays out at the end of the day.
Right.
I like choosing a side.
I think people that hedge are going to come out ahead if you guys did like a portfolio challenge. That's the thing.
Tom Crown's damn good. Tom Crown, I love that guy.
Yeah, he's not around this office though, right?
Yeah. Schlongen is just swing trade and scalp trade together. Yeah. Tom Crown is a badass guy. We should get Tom on the show. I should reach out to him. We keep barely missing each other to get him on the spaces we do. But with that being said, I got to get ready, send Isaac out to give me some food. I'm going to go on another show here on Mario in just about 10 minutes. Love and appreciate every single one of you out there And Jeremy, thanks for joining me on the show today.
Bye, everybody. You can find me on Twitter at MoxJeremy. I run a space about Lorcana, the Disney trading card game, Mondays at 8:30. And you can follow me on my podcast, the Club Lorcana podcast, on Zan Syed, Zansyeed's YouTube channel. We just had an extremely cool interview with head judge of the first 3 DLCs, Albert Verdelin. So check that out.
Okay. I don't know what any of that means, but if you know that stuff, go check them out there. Love and appreciate every single one of you, and I will see you very soon. Take care.